if that just triggered in you something deep in your soul, you might be old. For everyone else, I'm going to talk about a duology that is like a twisted, hot topic version of like the A-Team or something, where like the A-Team goes around helping people. This crew, they just want theirs, but also they might secretly become a family. That's right, I'm talking about Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom. Many, many moons ago, I read the book Six of Crows because my friend Deanie suggested it. She said it was one of her favorite books. Also, it's a well-loved book by Leigh Bardugo. Many people on BookTube read it a long time ago when it was relevant. Well, guess what? The television show came out, and I still never finished this duology, which I have taken flack for because, yes, Book 1 ends on a massive cliffhanger. It really has no closure at all. But the television show, and I was like, this is a time when it would be relevant to finish Crooked Kingdom, but I did not do that until the television show was also irrelevant to talk about. But now I have read Crooked Kingdom, and I don't know why on earth I freaking sat on this for so long. It was great. It was fast-paced. It was also sometimes a little bit over the top. Sometimes the author does some just dirty tricks. Sometimes it gets a little bit like, I know what's happening. Why are you pretending that this is happening? Like, why are you trying to fool me? Sometimes I just want to get in there and just give those characters a good talking to because they do some seriously dumb crap. And I can understand why they do it, because when you have trauma in your life, when you're messed up, sometimes you don't behave and act as an emotionally responsible and well-adjusted human being. But it doesn't make me not want to life coach the frick out of these teens when they just can't get their crap together, which makes sense because I'm a freaking 31-year-old millennial now. It's what we want to do. We want to tell everybody else what to do, like we didn't want everybody telling us what to do when we were teenagers. But off of that, if you don't know what we're talking about, Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom is a sort of found family crew heist story. It's very YA. It's very emo. It takes place with like a huge bit of fake Russian and surrounding Russian cultures. It is a fantasy, so there's a fun magic system. I think Leigh Bardugo handles action really, really well. She's also super good at being able to do extremely fast and heavy-paced scenes, in my opinion, and also able to flashback and do deep dives into character depth. I think she just kills it, really, with this duology. The thing is, elephant in the room, I never read the first 3 books in the Grishaverse? I never read the first 3 books. There are things that obviously tie into those books. They weren't relevant for me being able to understand, like, 98% of everything that was going on. It wasn't like messing with my brain in the main plot, but it did make me kind of want to go back and check them out because I love this duology. I thought it ended awesome, and if she ever wrote a book with the Crows again, not only would I check it out, but I'm still tempted to go back and check out the other books in the Grishaverse. The first book is called Six of Crows. There's 6 individual protagonists that end up becoming main players in this story. You get to dive into their stories. In this book, you get to dive into more character stories, some deeper into the first character stories. Bardugo did an amazing job with making me care about each of the individual arcs with every single character in the series. She did an excellent job about making a villain who is quite mustache twirling in the sense that he is very bad and you very much want bad things to happen to him. Honestly, the way that, let's see, I don't think this counts as a spoiler, but like, this is the type of hot topic emo we're dealing with. We are following a group of bad people. They're thieves, they're killers, they do bad things. But when we're forced to see them actually do those bad things, we are made sure to know that even though these people are edgy and they're gonna do bad things, the people they're doing the bad things to are so much worse. They're so much badder that we want to see bad things happen to the bad people because we're all emo kids at heart. We want to see cool plans. We want to see them executed. We love it when a plan comes together, as Hannibal from the A-Team says. The way that that's executed in the plot is very fun, but also very tricksy. Leigh Bardugo does some things that are, we'll say they're just a little bit, they feel almost cheaty sometimes. I don't want to give specific spoiler examples, but very often we're in a scenario where it seems like everything is going wrong, and then secretly it was all part of the plan. And there's a lot of unreliable narrator situations happening, and we are switching perspectives so often, and she is cutting back and forth between future, present, and past so often that she can get away with a lot of them. But after you've been fooled so many times, it's like a fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, shame on me situation where, like, if you're still falling for that crap by the end of Crooked Kingdom, what are you even freaking doing here? Which is to say that when she continues to do these kind of tricks, it's less more like, oh dang, what's gonna happen? And more like, I know what you're doing here. But did it stop it from being fun for me? No. But I just want to say, Bardugo, I see what you're doing. I caught on. I'm not that dumb. I only fell for it way too many times before I started being like, hey, I see this. I see it. This is almost like a historical fantasy setting, I guess, because we do have elements of technology. I wanted to call it steampunk when I talked about that in the Discord, which is linked down below. Everybody can join it. It's free. But when I tried to call it steampunk, people tried to compare it more to historical fantasy, to a time when we had like basic mechanics. We had guns, cannons, industrial type things, but not super finite technology. And yeah, we have guns in this fantasy, which is something I think is interesting, because I feel like when you are in a situation where there is technology in a fantastical world, guns are still pretty powerful. So you either have to explain a reason why magic would eliminate the guns, or guns should be a significant world building part of your world, which is what Lee Bardugo chose to do. That was one of the characters who his primary thing is guns. Another character whose primary thing is bombs. Also pretty freaking powerful, even in a magic world. But the magic itself, still pretty stinking cool. Some super powerful magic, some super awesome world building elements to cause push and pull between the magic users, the regular people, and the more bigger plot that's surrounding everything. I love the execution there. I love the execution of the world building. I love the execution of the character development. I love the execution of making me care so much about these dumb teens doing things against even eviler people. And even though sometimes I want to just give those kids a talking to, at the same time, I love them. I want to just give them a hug and maybe like then check to make sure my wallet is still in my pants, because I don't want them to steal everything I own and leave me destitute. I guess that based on everything else I just said, that might imply I am a very, very bad person if they would do those things to me. I'm just saying I can't trust them all the way. Not all of them. But I would read about them for sure. And I did, and I loved it. I have said in a previous video that when it comes to YA books just have this feeling. And if you like YA books, you probably know what that feeling is. If you don't like YA books, you probably know what that feeling is. It's hard to put an exact pin on what makes this book feel YA in a good way for me. But if you don't like that feeling, you probably won't. I think it's probably just the extreme angst and emo that comes across in every page with like every single bit of world building. I loved it so much. But if you don't like YA elements or those types of things, if you don't see like a bunch of edgy kids having to do edgy things to even worse, really horrible people and looking into their tragic backstories about how sad everybody is, you might not like it. But if what I've said excites you, if any of the passion that I have came across at all, then I suggest you check it out. And if you cry, don't blame me, blame Lee Bardugo. Have you read Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom? Are you interested in it? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Let me know in the comments down below. If you like this video, it would be awesome if you could give it a like. If you'd like to see more videos from me in the future, please hit the subscribe button. If you hit that bell, you'll get notified every time I post a new video. And I would love to see you come back for another video sometime. That would just be awesome. And until next time, we'll carry on. We'll carry on.
Sleep, no one ever get enough. Always looking out tired. Sleep, no one ever get enough. If I don't show up, I might get fired. Sleep, no one ever get enough. Always looking out tired. Sleep, no one ever get enough. If I don't show up, I might get fired.